Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video is going to be, I believe, part 1 of a 3-part eyeshadow palette decluttering series. I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I don't typically declutter them because I feel like, what if I need to reference back or something? However, the giant pile in front of me, I'll insert a quick little clip of it. I don't use most of these. Some I will hang on to because I will use, but I tend to not reach for a lot of smaller palettes. So let's just hop right into it. I have the Haus Labs Glam Room 1. Now, I remember actually liking this palette. It is a very pretty, very neutral, and already I don't know what to do. And I think this is the only Haus Labs palette. No, I have a second one. I'm gonna hang on to this one for now because it is really nice. It's a very easy to use, no muss, no fuss kind of a palette. Next we have the Artist Couture Caliente palette. This was a BoxyCharm palette, and I think this was one of my first YouTube videos. I think it was. I'm gonna hang on to this one, I think. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not hanging on to this one. Okay. Yeah, nope, that's going. So I have a little basket here for all the palettes I'm going to rehome. Next, I have the BH Cosmetics Turquoise palette. Excuse me. I got this because December is my birthday month and I thought it would be cute. Not my favorite. I used it once. I'm not going to reach for it again. I'm going to declutter this one as well. Next up, I have the Viseart Neutral Matte Eyeshadow Palette, and this is their older version, and it's excellent. I'll definitely hang on to this. It's a fantastic matte palette. I have this, who are you? Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. This is a all shimmer palette. I just stuck my thumb in. I haven't used this, or maybe I have maybe once, but I want to. So I definitely want to hang on to this. I really like using multiple palettes for a look, especially if I'm just playing. So like the Viseart palette and the Jungle Lights palette would pair really nicely. So I'm going to hang on to that one. Next we have the Bridgerton Pat McGrath. I don't know what to do with this. I'm going to hang on to this one for now. I haven't had it that long. It's been less than a year, so that one can stay. Since we're on Pat McGrath, I have this itty bitty Pat McGrath 5-pan Eye Ecstasy Sublime eyeshadow palette. Really pretty. I reach for it once in a while. I think it's nice. I think I'm going to hang on to it. Next, we have the Morphe 9V Artistry palette. Can I get it open? This was a gift for my best friend. Look how pretty that is. That's really pretty. I literally never reach for it. Sorry, sheetrock. I'm gonna declutter it. Next, I have this Wise Girl palette my stepsister gave to me last year. And it's got these 3 glitter shades, which I definitely won't use. The mattes were okay, the shimmers were okay, but I don't reach for this, so I want to rehome it. If you stick around to the end of the video, I will be sure to give you a tally of how many I kept and how many I've decluttered. Next, we have the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place. That's what the outside looks like. I have not even used this. It's brand spanking new. Swatched it, haven't used it. The last few Juvia's Place palettes that I picked up, like the monochrome ones, I haven't loved, but this does look like a good time. I should give it a chance, right? Right. All right, next we have 2 palettes from Alamar Cosmetics. These are really nice, very good formula. The color story is pretty. I never, ever reach for these. I did use this one a fair amount when I first got it. It's just not something that I use. I'm going to rehome these. Okay, let's just get this one out of the way. This is the Glamlight and Hershey Kisses palette. This actually made it into my top palettes of 2022 series. I really like this palette a lot. 6-pan brown eyeshadow palette. I just don't reach for it. It's oddly shaped. You can pretty much get 2 looks, and I like to play when I bust into an eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna rehome this, but it is a very nice brown eyeshadow palette. Next up, I have my little 6-pan from Divina Cosmetics. This one's staying. I love this eyeshadow. I mean, technically it's not a palette. They're singles that I put into a palette, but it's staying. I probably forgot to mention, all of these eyeshadow palettes that we're doing today are 9-pan or less. Figured it would be a good way to split up the palettes. Next, we have the Odin's Eye Oud palette. This green is amazing. I love this so much. I will get this palette out just to use that green. So this is staying. It's that good. I have this little e.l.f. Mad for Matte Jewel Pop. This is crap. Like absolute horrible quality. I feel bad even thinking about giving that to somebody. I might just end up putting in the garbage. I have this A Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves. Man, I used to reach for this all the time. This is another one that's just like really easy to put on and blend out. I think I'm gonna hang on to this one for now. This and the Lady Gaga palette, I think are gonna be more maybe-ish. I'll burn that bridge at the end when I figured out what I'm keeping and what I need to fill a hole. I tried this BH Nude Ego Unleashed palette in This Is Me. And I was gonna get rid of it, and then I thought I'll hang on to it and give it a second chance. I'm not gonna use it. So I'm going to declutter. If I'm not using it or I don't love it, I should not have it. So next we have the Nabla Cutie palette, and this one is in the Retropolin? I don't know. This is really pretty. I'm gonna hang on to this one for sure. I like this one. And, you know, if we should travel, it's a good one to take with me. And then I have the Midnight palette from Nabla. Again, also pretty good. No, I have better. I don't need to hang on to this one. I have the Sweet Pinks by Juvia's Place. This was all right. I'm trying to remember. This one I think was pretty okay. Yeah, it was the berries that I didn't love. This is the berries. Yeah, gotta get rid of the berries. And I have the purples, which I also think I can declutter. And then we have the I Live, I Love from Juvia's Place. Oh, that looks so good. I don't think I've used this one yet. I haven't. The plastic's still on it. I'm gonna keep this one. I need to use it before I make a decision. And then we have the Alluri one. I have all of them. This is really, really pretty. I don't reach for it. I'm not going to. If I'm looking for blue and orange, I'm pretty sure I have something else I prefer. And then we have the Alluri 2. Oh, but those blues are gorgeous. No. I have another blue palette that I prefer to this one. And I don't need multiples of the exact same thing. And then we have Alluri 3. Nope, this one can go too. Wow, I am doing way better than I thought I would. As for the pinks, we're back on this one. I think I'm gonna hang on to this one for now. I think that makes sense. Now I have the entire Say It collection from BH Cosmetics. I'll show you really quickly what they are. I don't know what the heck they were thinking with this palette or with this collection. It's all like sweary and potty mouthy and weird, and I'm fine with potty mouth, like that doesn't bother me. But why on the makeups? You know what I mean? Like that just seems so odd. And these color stories are absolutely fantastic. I'm keeping all of them. They are wonderful. The quality is wonderful. I just don't know why they had to get all like freaky with the titles or the names of the palettes. An odd choice. I was just talking to a friend of mine about this, and it feels like BH made some questionable choices there for a while. Such nice color stories though. Man, oh man. So good. And this is the last one. Fantastic. Absolute top-notch quality. Super goofy titles. Okay, we have 2 right here I know I will be hanging on to. This is the Tarte Energy Noir palette. This was my very first quote-unquote fancy palette. This was my bougiest palette for a very long time. And I used this in a Throwback Thursday quite a while ago. And it was still decent. So I think no matter what I declutter, I'm going to hang on to that one because it's just memories, you know? And then we have the Tarte Man-Eater palette. This is the, I think they had more than just one name. Maybe? I don't know. But this little palette was like my number one go-to. It just, you can get super nice, super easy neutral looks with this palette in like 2 seconds. It's a beautiful palette, so I'm going to hang on to that. Again, great for travel. I have this Makeup by Mario Glam Quad and Party Glam. I've never used this. It looks really pretty. I'm going to rehome it. I haven't used it. I'm not going to. Next up, we have a Marc Jacobs palette. This is in Stiletto. I could not wait to get this. I mean, there was a time when you couldn't get cool toned eyeshadows, and this was like, the best thing ever. I never reach for it. I don't love the quality on these Marc Jacobs palettes at all. I have the electric one, as well, and it is smashed to bits. All right, we're just gonna, it's all in my lap. Oh man. All right, well, that one's obviously not staying. I have this little Kevin Aqua Emphasize Eyes design palette. I must have picked this up in the Boxy store or something, but I never used it. I don't love the setup of this palette. It just really turns me off. So I'm gonna rehome this one as well. Next up, I have the 2 mini travel palettes from BH Cosmetics. These were newly released. They were all right. I didn't love them. I don't love quads, so I'm going to declutter them. And one of them is still broken. I have this itty bitty Pat McGrath Midnight Voyage. Is that what that was? Yeah. This is a really cute palette and very darn good. I'm going to hang on to this. Super easy to travel with, should I ever, you know, do that again. Oh, next up we have the Essence Taupe It Up. This was not a good palette. I didn't enjoy this at all. I barely reached into it. It just didn't really appeal to me. I did use it to make my granddaughter look dead for Halloween a couple years ago. So there was that. And I have these 3 e.l.f. bite size. These are really, really decent quality. I liked all the ones that I tried, and I thought they were pretty darn good. I don't reach for them because I have a ton of makeup. This one I did think was very in kind of the same vein as the Tarte Man-Eater. You get the same looks with this little one as the Man-Eater palette, so I think I'm gonna rehome these as well. And I have these 2 little quads I made from Makeup Geek. I got a bunch of their blind bags, and that's still like, I love that color story. And then I have this one. I think I'm going to declutter this one because I have a Nomad one that reminds me of this. So I'm going to declutter that one, but I really do want to play with this one. I just haven't done it yet. This is the other House Labs palette that I have. This was cute. I did a cute little watermelon look with this palette, but I haven't reached for it since, and I'm not going to, so I'm going to declutter it. I have the 4 Obsessions palettes from Huda. These were terrible. I really, really did not like the quality of these eyeshadows at all. Not hanging on to those. And then I have this ColourPop Smoke Show palette. They had to rename it for some reason. It's called Blowing Smoke now, or Blow in Smoke. This is a darn good palette, and I will be hanging on to it. As much as I dislike ColourPop, these were almost better than the Natasha Denona one. As crazy as that sounds, this silver, oh my gosh, it's fantastic. So I'll hang on to this one. I don't reach for it a lot. I love black, but I also like colorful makeup. So yeah, I have 2 more of the Huda palettes. These are the neon orange and pink. I'm not gonna keep these. They weren't that great. They were, you know, at the time, neon, but now we know better. So we are plucking right along. I'm almost done. I have 2 of the Wayne Goss palettes. I have, oh, which one is this? Oh, this was the Tourmaline. This is actually very, very nice. And I am gonna hang on to it. I was gonna say no, but I just used this in a Throwback Thursday and was really happy with the look that I came up with. And then we have the Pearl Moonstone. I'm gonna hang on to this one as well. I haven't played with it enough that I'm comfortable getting rid of it. Paid a lot of money for this, so I'm gonna use it a bit more before I decide to get rid of it. And then we have the BH So Spoiled palette. I got this one because look at those pan sizes. They're so stinking cute. They are just adorable. I got one for me and one for my best friend because it's just so tiny and adorable. I have the big one. I'm gonna declutter this one because I just don't reach for it. It's cute and I think the quality is nice, but I don't reach for it. Next and last, we have Natasha Denona. I had a bunch of these like big minis, and I put them all into an MTZ palette, which we will get to another video. And these are the 3 that I have left that I didn't put in. I don't think any of them are original. I downsized, so they would all just be like, you know, in as few as possible. And I'm gonna hang on to these. The Natasha Denona quality is fantastic. These are travel friendly, and I have a bunch. So if I had, yeah, so I had 4 more of these because they are now residing in a mini palette that holds 20. So we have the Natasha Mini Glam, keeping that. We have the Mini Love, keeping that. We have the Mini Zendo, keeping that. We have the Mini Xenon, keeping that. We have the Mini Leela, keeping that. We have the Mini Retro, keeping that. We have the Mini Metropolis, keeping that. And we have the Mini Biba and the Mini Gold, still in their boxes. I'm keeping these. So that is all of my 9-pan or less palettes except for Nomad. I have a few small Nomad palettes that I thought I would do when I do my Nomad ones. So let me pop off and figure out what the tally is, and I'll be right back. You're not going to believe this. There were 74 total. I'm keeping 37. That means I got rid of half of my 9-pan or less eyeshadow palettes. That's pretty darn good. Holy moly. Go me. I'm excited. All right, so that is part 1. I still have a boatload of palettes to go. So I'm gonna do probably 2 more parts, and then we'll be done with this declutter series. Let me know what you think of this declutter down in the comment section. Are you here for it? Do you think I should have kept some I didn't? Let me know what you think. I like chatting with you down there. So let's leave it there until next time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you. Be good, and remember to be kind to you.